working with people partners, they take the time to understand not just the role that's being examined, but the total structure and culture of the business. The other upside of working with people partners is it's a wraparound solution. It's quite straightforward, really great communication. So it's a really supportive model. So I work as an advisor and consultant to RTOs and skills economy businesses, including higher ed and labour market operators. And so I spend a lot of my time working on strategy, on structure, on operating models, a little bit of compliance, a lot around quality, student engagement, student experience, product design, technology. So the list kind of grows, but it's really interesting work, and lots of these businesses, the clients that I serve, are looking for ways to be smarter, faster, better, more reliable, more profitable, all of those things. So the main reason that I would look at and had looked at offshoring and outsourcing work is really to add higher levels of value to the operations of a business. So whether the driver is trying to reduce cost without compromising resourcing, or whether it's supplementing existing local skills with extended skills in other time zones or in specialist areas of capability that are a bit hard to fill locally, all of these things contribute to me sitting down with a business and a client and saying, right, what's the best formula for your people, your process, your systems to get you where you want to be? And so in working with People Partners, it was really clear that what's on offer is a full service solution that can be plugged in through a good design approach, and that really takes a long-term view to creating teams that operate remotely, but operate really, really well. So the roles that have been kind of explored, I can use that word, are mostly focused on the transactional kind of task performance that every RTO has got quite a lot of going on. So we're talking about admissions, enrollments, bookkeeping, some marketing activity, some technology type roles, quite a lot in the finance function, but the kind of things that you can, as a business, set up through clear process. You can have the process executed through systems anywhere on the planet, and you need a level of visibility and a level of oversight of the performance of those tasks, but the level of human judgment is probably a bit lower than for some of the more complex tasks, like making assessment judgments on student evidence, for example. Anything that really sits in the heavily regulated part of RTO land is a bit more challenging. And most of my clients are not looking for that solution, right? They're going, well, how do we get our students onboarded faster? How do we convert more of our leads into enrollments? How do we pull together our data to do validation and moderation without taking our core high-value people offline to do sampling and collation? How do we make sure our student records are up to date? How do we get more rapid response to student inquiry about support? All of these things are all about improvement. And most of the clients, when I say, have you thought about plugging someone in through a service partner who doesn't physically sit in your campus, but can do the work on a full-time fraction at significant saving compared to local labour? And sometimes they go, yeah, I thought about it and I don't want to do it. And that's fine. That's your business culture and that's 100% your call. Others are going, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. And occasionally some will go, yeah, I've done that before and it kind of hasn't worked great, or we've got one or two of those and we're sort of struggling in how to really optimize that resourcing mix. So it's a mixed bag. A good answer is seeing People Partners, and particularly Anthony's presence at conferences and industry events through their work in sponsoring those kind of shows, and the enthusiasm that Anthony brings to just talking to people about people. right? And my background is 20 years in hotel management, 25 years in vet, a master's in HR, and I've always been involved in the people. My brain's been busy about how people fit and how you make it work well. So that was just common ground straight away. Yeah. And then you add on top of that the drive for commercial benefit without compromising the human experience of it all. And it was just a natural relationship to get into and to grow. There's a couple of upsides. Right? Well, there's more than a couple, but I'll highlight a couple. One is in working with people partners, they take the time to understand not just the role that's being examined, but the total structure and culture of the business. Can we make this work and fit well? That takes the relationship beyond the pure transaction of, well, I need this FTE and I want to save 50 grand a year by getting someone else to do it, through to how do we build a more robust solution, and how can people partners support the business to really think carefully and reflect on its culture and how it might actually make this work. So a couple of examples of benefit. I had one RTO that picked up a marketing resource and basically said to that person, right, you're part of our team that creates energy around our business, and we want you to build social media campaigns and run our strategies, right? Execute the strategy that we want to do. And the content output, the engagement, the quality of work was just easily at the same level, if not better, than a local resource for a considerable saving, right? So that's just an example of how, when it's properly crafted and it's done with deliberate intent and good thought, you can get, as a business, a real benefit. The other upside of working people partners is it's a wrapped around solution. It's quite straightforward, really great communication, and the occasional nudge to say, hey, you need to think a little bit more about how you engage these remote people into your organization, and here are some tips and strategies to help you do that. So it's a really supportive model. If you're an RTO and you're facing some challenges, which means I'm talking to most people in the industry, and you haven't thought about mixing up your staffing, have a conversation with the People Partners guys, right? If it turns into nothing, so be it, but there's genuine offer from them to help you improve your business, and it's not as scary or as weird as it might seem to extend your team into new time zones and new countries. There's no language barrier. It's a great way to test whether or not the solution is good for you on a larger scale and over a longer term. And it's in People Partners' name, right? They're a partner. They're not just a labour supplier. They're motivated by your business improving. So there's not a lot of reasons not to at least have a call and have a chat and maybe turn it into something really, really, really good.